And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
Well, like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy here.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Luther Arnold, okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes.
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
How
I
do you do it?
mean,
Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile going on some shoes, but.
Wait, hold up.
You got.
I got to
when it's
try
time,
this with you.
when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny
All
and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Each words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you guys are all having a terrific Tuesday. You know what's wonderful about this week? You want to know what's so wonderful about this week?
What's so wonderful about this week?
Is the fact that the weekend starts tomorrow, basically, right? Because tomorrow's Friday. For a lot of us who don't have to go to work on Thursday, Friday, and so on. You know what I'm saying? So you got one more day, and then it's the weekend. It's kind of nice like that. It's kind of nice like that. You know what I'm saying? At least I appreciate it. What did you say?
Don't you wish it was like every weekend?
Can it be every weekend, please? Can it?
2 days work, 5
Please?
days off.
Yeah. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if that was the case? That'd be so nice, man. Don't threaten me with a good time. I'm just saying. Do not threaten me with a good time.
Sounds like Florida.
Say that again. What did you say, T?
Sounds like Florida.
Sounds like Florida?
Yeah.
Sure.
Or Congress.
What?
Congress.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break off. We're gonna take, we don't agree on anything. We're gonna walk away. We're shutting things down. If we don't agree on something, we're shutting things down. Interesting. But I guess so. Like Congress, I guess. But they still work hard out here in these streets. Let's be real. They work hard.
True.
They work hard.
We're still waiting for that $2,000, bill to be signed. Mitch.
Move, Mitch. Get out the way. But that's another conversation in itself, obviously. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on. Today. There's a lot to talk about this morning. And so I want to say good morning to everybody. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful, fantastic, positive day. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you guys are all looking forward to your mornings, to your day. It's just Tuesday. Then tomorrow is Wednesday. And that literally is the weekend. And then you get to go kick it, hopefully, with your loved ones. Hopefully you're not social distancing from your loved ones like that. But, you never know nowadays. I mean, let's be real. You just never really know if you can even hang out with your friends or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, not your friends, but your family. I haven't seen friends in I don't even know how long. You know what I'm saying? Except on here. That's the wonderment of technology and the internets. But other than that, I'm pretty much here, all by myself. You know what I mean? With my computer. You know what I'm saying? You zoom in with your homies, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Zoom in with my homies.
Why does it have to be the white guy that does it? I mean, I'm just kidding.
He got some flavor, so we can't hate on it.
He got some flavors. He got some flavor. He got that ramen. He got that ramen beef
my
flavor.
heart was in the right place.
His heart is in the right place, right there, off to the left a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's off in it's in the right place. Yeah, his intentions are good. His intentions are good. But anyway, you guys are all starting to file in. Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. Yes, David is not on today. I know a lot of people are going to start asking, like, where David at? Where David be at, man? David is busy right now. They got dumped with snow again in Colorado. Remember, he lives in Colorado. He lives in Denver. So what else is new? He's going to get rocked with snow, right? So I think he had a white Christmas too. I think they did get hit with snow pretty hardcore. Pretty damn hardcore. So yes. Or they got hit pretty hardcore before Christmas. So I think he had a white Christmas. I think he's waiting for like a non-white Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like a Christmas where there's no snow in Denver. That would be interesting to see. But anyway, they got rocked with a whole lot of snow last night. So he is helping some friends basically dig themselves out of their driveway so that they can go work, live life, and be fruitful. So he will not be on today, but there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of conversation that we need to have. Obviously, as you see underneath the title for today, Nashville bomber's neighbor finally speaks or has the interview. And finally, I have the video because I was talking about it last night during my random ass live stream. It came out of nowhere. The information, all the stuff that was being dropped at us. So I decided to pop up because I was like, damn, like there's just so much information. I don't have a whole lot of time to do all this information and, cut it out, put it out on the ether so all y'all can see it. So I was just like, you know what? Let me just do a live stream so that you guys can see the information as I'm seeing it too. Like the body cam footage. That stuff was crazy, y'all. That body cam footage was absolutely insane. And if you haven't gotten a chance to check it out, go click on that on my video, the previous video. It's like right before the Twisted Tea Punch video, which is hilarious. You got to check that out too. But don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. You got time. You can check those out later. Stick around because we got to look at this video here, which is the Nashville bomber's neighbor gets interviewed on CNN, and it's definitely worth the watch. It is definitely worth the watch. So we're going to check it out here live right now. Let's take a look.
And out front now, Rickoddy. He's lived near the Nashville bombing suspect since 2010. Rick, thank you so much for joining us. I can only imagine how traumatic these past few days have been for you. You say that you actually spoke with Anthony Warner last Monday, just 4 days before the bombing. So let's start right there. Did he say anything out of the ordinary looking back? Did anything stand out to you now?
Thank you for having me. No, ma'am. That conversation, nothing raised the red flag as something horrible would happen. And when I drove away from that conversation, I thought that something good was going to be happening for Anthony.
Explain that. He said that he was going to be famous or something pertaining to Christmas, correct?
That's correct. I had stopped. He was out in the street, and I had stopped strictly to ask him about his mother, to let him know that if his mother ever needs anything, don't hesitate to knock on our door. Me and my wife would, be more than happy to help in any way we could. And just out of small talk, and he said, thank you. And just out of small talk, I asked him, is Santa going to bring you anything good for Christmas? And he smiled, and he said, oh yeah, I'm going to be famous. Nashville and the world will never forget me.
Wow.
And I wished him Merry Christmas. He wished me Merry Christmas. I drove off. But you would have to go back 10 years earlier when I had first met him, training my dog. I was walking my dog down the street, and that's how he and I had met. And that's when I had learned that he was, he told me he was an electronics technician and IT technician.
Okay, I don't mean to pause this really quick. I know we're halfway through this interview and everything, but I need to point something out here. Look at his face. Do we even know what this guy looks like? Can you even make out what this guy looks like? He's wearing a bandana that covers his entire the bottom half of his face. He's wearing a cowboy hat and shades. See what I'm saying? This ain't no 80s song. I wear my sunglasses at night. This is not an 80s song. He ain't going into the club. He ain't popping no bottles. So why is his whole face covered like that, bruh? Why? I will continue now. It just seems weird to me. I'm sorry. That's weird. Why wouldn't he's outside. Let me just say that too. He's outside right now. He could pull down the mask a little bit. Just a tiny bit. What's he trying to cover? What's he trying to hide?
So, and that was 10 years ago. He was a recluse. He and I were not, let me be very clear, he and I were not friends. You will not find anybody in my neighborhood who will claim to be a friend of his. He was just a legitimate recluse. But when he said this, I thought back 10 years earlier, and I thought to myself, well, if he's an electronic technician and an IT technician, maybe he developed an app that he felt confident was going to get patented and have a nice little payday. Nothing about that conversation raised a red flag.
Yeah, and why would it? No one in their wildest dreams or nightmares could have imagined what transpired on Christmas morning. You mentioned asking him about his mother. Given that, as you describe him to be a recluse, how close is he or was he with his mother? We know that authorities are talking to her right now, and she is cooperating. What information could she possibly give them?
I could not answer that. It would only be speculation. I can tell you that my wife and I have owned our house for 10 years, 5 doors down from his mother and dad's house. His father passed away some 5 years ago, and I remember the RV being in his mom and dad's driveway, and he lived with them, but I have no idea what the internal family relationship was between he and his mother.
Well, Rickoddy, we really appreciate you joining us tonight to give us some sense of who this man was. As you mentioned, no one could have anticipated that something like this could happen. I know authorities continue to look into his past and his associates, including his mother. Thank you so much for joining us, and Happy New Year, Happy Holidays to you.
Let me just say that Nashville is strong. Nashville is strong. We had a horrible flood in 2010. Everybody pulled together and we got through it. We had a horrible tornado in March. Once again, everybody pulled together and we're working through that. And now this, and I'm just asking everybody of all walks of life to please remember the people who had a home at 6 a.m. on Christmas morning, and at 6:30 a.m.
Good point.
They were now homeless. Please help these people. And one last thing, if anybody you know has a mental illness problem, get them help and don't stop until you get help.
Really,
thank you for having me. Really
important notes to end on. Nashville is a national treasure, and our thoughts are with you and the citizens of Nashville as well. Thank you.
You know, to me, this is I don't know how to say it. I appreciate having the interview, like seeing the interview and hearing from somebody that at least knew the guy. But I don't like how it was presented. Because here's the thing, guys. We live in a world where we are all sleuths. We are all digital detectives. We are all social media detectives. If we want to find out something, we can find out that information and more than we want to know at the tip of our fingers, in our cell phones, in our computers, whatever, right? There have been so many different speculations about this whole catastrophe alone, where they're saying there's all kinds of conspiracy theories out there. the last thing they want to do, the last thing that CNN or any mainstream media outlet would want to do is to perpetuate an idea, to perpetuate more conspiracy theories. And what I mean by that is having a dude who was friends with the dude that killed himself in a bombing come live on the show and have his entire face covered. Why, you ask? Why you ask? Why you ask? Like, why would I say something like that? Because everybody and their mama, including myself, is starting to put 2 and 2 together kind of thing, starting to do this weird ass math that we don't want to do. Because then we automatically think, oh, this guy's fake. Or there's other people out here that would say he's a crisis actor and all that stuff. Why is his face covered up? Why wouldn't they just say, hey, okay, you know, if you're uncomfortable, if you're worried about the Rona and all that stuff, we have zoom lenses. We will back all the way up. We got long enough cords. You know what I'm saying? We will back away. We will press record and back away. Like, it's more important than anything to be able to see people's faces right now. We need answers. But when you start doing something and you have somebody live in an interview who's giving us important information and his face is covered up, it makes it seem like something's not right. It makes it seem, it gives the conspiracy theorists out there more toys and more clay to morph something or resurrect some crazy conspiracy. Why wouldn't they just pull down his mask and take, you know what I'm saying? At least the mask. You can make out his face from that. It just seems sketchy as hell, y'all. Sketchy as hell. What do you guys think about that whole interview, y'all? Jack.
Would you want to have your face like associated with the guy who just blew up downtown?
Then here's the thing. Good question. Then do a phone call. Do a phone call interview. I'll do an audio interview. That's fine. I'll do an audio interview. I don't want I get that part, but you're on live television. You're on live television, and I get it that you don't want to be associated or, you know, that fear of whatever, but you could easily just do a phone call. Do a phone call. And give them a really young photo of yourself that they can put up. You see what I'm saying? Like, or something. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying that I have the solutions, and if I was in his shoes, you know what I'm saying, would I want my face plastered all over television and all over the news as the Christmas Nashville bombers friend? I would never want that either. But if you have pertinent information, you have very important information, wouldn't you maybe find avenues to do? I don't know. It just seems so weird. I'm sorry. I'm not sitting here saying that that it's not the truth. What he just said is not the truth. I'm not trying to say that he's a crisis actor. I'm just saying that it feeds those other conspiracy theorists out there that are watching that stuff going, oh, he ain't real. That's a crisis actor. That guy's getting paid by Dominion or something. Seriously, there's all kinds of theories going on right now where people are thinking that all this stuff is happening because of voter fraud. Real talk. Real talk. Because of voter fraud. So, why feed to that machine? See what I did there? Never mind. Moving on. All I'm trying to say, that's fine, Jack. You don't have to like my jokes. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Drum roll, please.
But what I'm trying to say is, it just seems a little odd. And I know what you mean by that, Jack. I mean, I get it. I fully get it.
Old man. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that he won the cowboy hat and, you know, the slightly tinted glasses is probably a Nashville style, first off. So, you know, I can't fault him on that. Going for the oversized bandana for the cover-up.
Kind of weird.
I see a lot of people walking around with bandanas thinking that they are protecting you, but they're not as thick as even like the basic masks. Yeah. So like it's not like in most stores they won't allow you in if you have a bandana on, as opposed to an actual mask. So I imagine. I mean, he looks like he's elderly, probably in that higher risk, group. And he wanted his 5 minutes of fame too. He wanted to be on TV, and he'd probably never been on TV before.
Yeah.
So he took that chance.
Well, he wanted five.
I mean, it was a full. It's the way that he had it on him. It just was like a block was there. He got the.
But if he wanted 5 minutes,
eyes, he got gray hair. He got his ears.
But if he wanted, here it is though. If he wanted 5 minutes of fame though, right? If he wanted 5 minutes of fame, then he should have taken the bandana off, because everybody's going like, what I'm saying? If his, like, let's just say he was a little bit younger and his mama was still around. His mama's sitting there going, honey, I didn't see your face. No one saw your face, baby. Like Mama Laud didn't get to see his face. So if he wanted that 5 minutes of fame, he approached it the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. If you look down to your phone and your phone can't unlock with your face, dead giveaway, your face is covered. Just dead giveaway. It's not, if your iPhone can't open up through Face ID, how is everybody going to be able to see your face? You feel me?
True.
T, what are your thoughts?
This guy, I mean, he definitely was trying to play a low key. I mean, this is a high profile case, so you can't blame him for covering his face up, sunglasses, the whole 9 yards. Think about like crimes that happen in the hood. Ain't nobody see nothing. I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So like he knows that the police, he knows that the FBI, ATF, whatever who's out there, force authority, he is definitely trying to like not take that heat from this bomber. You know what I'm saying? So he's being smart about it.
And other people already got shared, just from interviewing them or putting up YouTube videos, and all of a sudden the name gets tapped onto them. And I don't know. I could definitely see him as just
protecting his ID, protecting his his personal life. Yeah, I get it.
Because maybe they just interviewed him outside of his home or something. I don't know where that interview was conducted at.
But you want to know something funny though? He gave them his name. Done. Yeah. You don't think that people can? You don't think that people can go and find stuff of him? Like I said, people are digital sleuths. People are digital detectives. And when they have nothing but time on their hands and conspiracies and paranoia and one name, you can go and Google that thing all day long and do a deep dive search and find all of his information. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to say that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where he messed up first off is giving his first and last name.
Maybe it's not his real name.
It may not
dun,
be.
Dun, dun.
If only he just said, my name is Aura. That's it.
Yeah.
My name's R. Aura. Not R. Kelly. Not R. Kelly. Just R. And that's it. Then they would have been like, oh, that's okay. He goes by RL or R. He's here. You know what I'm saying? Like it defeats the purpose. If you're going to sit there, cover your face up, cover all that ish up, cover your mug, and then still go, my name is Richard Michael Laud. Doesn't make any sense. You just gave out your information right there. Now they already know that you old. You know what I'm saying? You white. You old because of the gray hairs that were winging out on the side of the cowboy hat. Done. Now people go, bing. There you go. There he is. This is his social security number. Here's his credit score. Here's where he lives. He's been divorced 7 times. He's got 5 kids from 17 wives. And you know what I'm saying? He got a farm. He even voted for Trump twice. You know what I'm saying? They can find all that information out. Bow. So, you know what I'm saying?
He's got that blue bandana on. He's probably a Democrat.
You never know. You never know. Or that blue bandana was a symbol.
AT&T.
Think about it. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm expecting him to be like, it's The Rock in the building, like something, throwing up some sort of Illuminati signs. You know what I'm saying? That blue bandana meant something, y'all. It meant something. Careful. Careful.
This guy's a simple diversion. That's all he was.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
I mean, that's definitely. I don't know. Is this the primary news to cover right now? I guess.
Is this the primary news?
Yeah, I mean, is this like this is, I guess, still one of the top stories that needs to be followed up on, and like
Yes.
the motive search basically is what's going on right now. Everyone's trying to find a motive.
Yes.
Because there has to be an explanation for it. So they're just trying to get anybody they can get any information out of. And so, you know, I'm assuming that he had a mental illness of some sort and that it went untreated, or he just became, maybe this guy was truly a recluse and was sitting there and then had some kind of vendetta maybe against AT&T or just in general. But he didn't want to harm other people. At least that's how, you know, how it played out. He wasn't trying to hurt anybody else. You know, the fact that it was next to apartments, he gave heads up from his audio. I think he was more so trying to damage the AT&T building. Maybe, you know, maybe he didn't have a job anymore. Maybe he didn't have, you know, maybe the pandemic hit him pretty hard. Maybe if he lost family, you know, over the past, you know, 5 years or whatever, and then he was living with his mom. Maybe his mom's in dire straits too, or, you know, where's that interview with his mom?
You know, that's what I'd like to see too. Interview with his mom.
She was living with him? Is that what the neighbor said? He said, if you ever need anything, you know, come and knock on our door and we can help your mom out or whatever. Like, is that just because after his dad passed, or like was that because she moved in with him?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know that part. I don't know that. I mean, those are good. Those are very good questions. You know what I mean? Interesting.
Because they went and got DNA from her to match up to his DNA that was, you know, spread around. But that was the only connection that they. I mean, I don't understand why, you know, but the neighbor that doesn't really know him and just, you know, this is just like filler news. Really is what it boils down to.
Right.
Hey, we found somebody that lived next to him but didn't really know him and had one conversation. Maybe because he had the last conversation with him. That's what makes it kind of. The guy was going out. He knew that he was going to make an impact somehow. But I don't know. That's the whole interview. Just I mean, it could have been an easy phone interview.
Seems shady.
The setup's just weird. But maybe just because there's not much else going on.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, and I see people. I don't think he's a plant, you know, by any means. I mean, he probably is a next door neighbor. He probably had these conversations, but he just probably doesn't know the guy. And if he thought that he was making an app that didn't need to get patented, like, he's an older gentleman, you know, like,
right.
It's a, you know,
how much information is he like? How much is he really going to? What's the word? Take him seriously. How much of what Warner allegedly said to him is he going to take as, oh, he's going to blow up something? You know what I mean?
Right.
If he was already known for being a weird individual, or quote unquote an oddball, or somebody who kept to himself and was just a little strange. We all know some oddball friends. We all have those oddball friends and people that we have associated ourselves with that say all kinds of crazy, weird stuff. You know what I mean? In fact, there's a lot of oddball friends that we have regardless that are maybe, yes, weird, but still socially inept or socially, not socially inept, socially, what's the word?
Awkward?
Say again?
Socially awkward?
No, not socially awkward. Like socially capable, like being socially able to be a part of society and be, you know, charismatic and talkative and all that stuff. You know what I mean? That say all kinds of weird stuff all the time. Shoot, I say weird stuff for 3 to 4 hours a day. I say weird stuff on this show. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Thanks, Jack. Thanks for the support. But But at the same time, you got so how would this Rick guy, how would Ricky Rick know that he was really meaning, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Unless he turned to him and said, Nashville and the world is going to remember my name. Like that. It's not like he did that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like any person, doesn't matter if you're young or old, is going to sit there and go, that's weird. Or that's weird, but you know, he's a weird guy. Driving on and drive on. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to bat an eye to it. What are you going to say, T?
I mean, that statement could have meant OnlyFans account. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
My feet collection.
Know what that meant. It's too big of a statement.
My line of feet. You know what I'm saying? My feet posing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, I will start on OnlyFans. Easy. But see, I say weird stuff all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's my job. I say weird stuff all the time. Does not mean I'm actually going to do those things until I do it. Does that make sense? And that's the same thing with Rick. How would he know that homeboy was about to do something as grisly as what he did? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's crazy. Crazy to me.
So
Go
my
ahead, Jack.
bigger thing is, I don't really care about this neighbor, but I want to know is, why did he have a explosives permit back in the 90s? And then was it pre-planned to where he said, I'm going to hold on to some of the stuff that I got, and at some point in time, I'm going to use this on something else? Or was this that he had it laying around left over and was like, now a plan was coming together? Like, was it a, thought out plan, or was this a like, okay, in the last 6 months type of thing? Or has this been since the last decade, where this has been something that he's been like going through and like, okay, I want to get this well ahead of time so it's not tracked. I want to get this so it's like this. Like, what was he using it back in the day? I was looking up on the Tennessee government website about firearms and explosive permitting.
Right.
And you can get permits if you're setting off fireworks. Like, if you're like somebody that's going and doing like those big fireworks things, like you can go get like register for it and get passed for it and get a permit and license for it. You can also get it for a blaster, a limited blaster, LP gas dealer, or a fire extinguisher specialist. So there's several different things that you can apply for an explosives permit for. But again, you do have to go through background checks. And like, the applications are $315, $300 for renewal. Not like it's anything that's like, oh, you got to pay $10,000 to be able to get this, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to, if you're going to blow up a building, maybe if you're doing demolition and things like that, you can get it. But you have to give, heads up before you use it. But when people get those and they buy this material and after their permit is done, does the government not go and like say, hey, your permit's out, I need to do a quick search, see what other material you have left over that to turn back in? Or is this something that he can just go and stockpile it once you got the permit, maybe go use it for something, they think that you used it all of it, and now you have a good closet full of excess explosive. Like, I don't know how all that stuff works.
But think about this, though. There's a lot of people out here that stock up on guns, ammo, weapons, just for a rainy day, just in case. There are people out here that collect things and hold them over until they really need it. So, there's doomsday people out here. There's people who keep, like, remember when the pandemic was at an all-time high? And one of there was many things that got taken off the shelves. Many things that got ripped off the shelves. Toilet paper, paper towels, guns, ammo. There was less ammo. Ammo was scarce. Everybody was stocking up on weapons. Every single person was stocking up on weapons and toilet paper so that they can poop all day. Real talk. They could be on the toilet, wipe their ass, and start going bang, bang, bang. You know what I mean? Headshot, whilst sitting, dropping a deuce on the toilet. Real talk. Those were the things that were going out of stock. Those were the things that they were like, whoa, we're running out of ammo. We got to slow this down. Slow the sales of these things down. because everybody and their mama was getting ready for some sort of crazy sort of, I don't know, race war or doomsday or whatever. So I could sit here and say the same thing about any person that has explosives. They get it, they hold on to it for when they need it. Now, you also got to remember, though, too, he's had this RV for a very long time. It's been sitting in the backyard for a very long time. So who's to say if he took those 10 years or something like that, 20 years, whatever, to build out what he wanted to build out, to make it perfect so that he can go drive up to AT&T or the downtown Nashville and set it off. I mean, if you really think about it, this could have been a plan in the making for a very long time, because they said that the RV was in the backyard for a while. It wasn't just there for 3 months and then all of a sudden, boom, it was there for years. And they said that thing was laced out with all kinds of stuff in it, cameras and everything. I mean, this guy was a tech guy. So, I mean,
right.
You know, he must have been doing something crazy high tech in that place. The fact that he was able to do what he did successfully. He was actually successful in it. So it's not like he was like, you never know. He may have had this idea in his mind for a while. He staked things out. You know, he scouted his location. You know, these things take time. So it wasn't like he just went over there 2 weeks ago and said, I'm going to do this on this day in 2 weeks. Let's go. This was some proper planning that came up.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, everything that's happening right now is all assumptions and speculation because there's no manifesto. He left nothing behind for us to say this is a motive. So this time right now is for people to figure out what makes sense most for them based off their viewpoint. And it's going to continue to be a swirl of different information going around that some of it could be factual. Some could be totally, just crazy talk.
Right.
But until we find evidence of, what his actual plan was, why was it done in this location at this AT&T hub, or someone also said, I think it's like NSA hub as well. And why was it on Christmas morning? Why at that time? Because he could have easily did it during, a day where people were there, crowded. So he did it in a way where he wanted no one to get hurt. So it was definitely an attacking against, maybe a company or an agency or some kind of higher power. It wasn't true. It wasn't to the American people, So until we find a manifesto and find out any evidence that can link his actions to, a actual real source of motive, then we have no idea why. And it's going to continue to be this, let's jump on the newest hot topic that goes with this man, neighbor, young lady who has his house right now, maybe old from high school, whoever can connect this man, to what happened with more information about who he was, it's going to continue to be, used as information for the media to suck up. But again, us as the people, we always want to know why. We always want to speculate. We always have curiosity that we use to figure things out. But it can be dangerous if too many of us go too far out, with it without proper evidence, So we have to be really careful, who we're listening to, who pops up on, the media somewhere and goes, I have evidence, my video has this.
Right.
I heard there was a missile that struck. I mean,
that's what they said too.
That video, right? It was like, come on. So it gets to the point where like 9/11 conspiracies, let's not go too far out. Let's just try to stick to what we know and make honest connections to what's valid and what makes sense. The most sense, I would say.
Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, and I talked about it last night during my live stream and on Sunday when they were breaking the story about him and everything. And I was sitting there going, there is no photo of him yet. Yet there are people out there, all kinds of YouTubers and news outlets that were just throwing up a face. They were just throwing up photos. of a dude. Several different variations of what they thought Anthony Warner looked like. And he was nothing what they expected. Some of them said it was a black guy. Some of them said it was a scraggly MAGA hat wearing dude with a big ass beard. You know what I'm saying? Some of them were like, this is a very a clean cut looking guy. I mean, it was all over the place. Several different outlets were saying that. And it's like, no, you have all of it wrong. It's not right for you to sit there and go, this is the person, when you don't have the facts yet. Let the story unfold first before you jump all the way in it. You know what I'm saying? In my personal opinion. But, you know, of course, like I said, as things develop, as stories start to build and all that, we are going to be talking about it, you know, as we continue with this story. Because it's still, this is still a crazy story, you know, and it's still something that's unfolding. And I want the, you know, I want the FBI, I want, you know, the cops, FBI, law enforcement to figure it out and give us the story. You know what I'm saying? And if they have any information in regards to like maybe a manifesto or a video, maybe he shot or something like that, that'd be really, really helpful as well. But we got to move on to the next story. Something a little bit of a left turn. There's apparently a recall on Home Depot ceiling fans. Jack's got the story. What's up with this, man?
Yeah, so if you're one of the lucky people that bought the 190,000 ceiling fans, probably on a good Black Friday or, you know, some kind of deal through Home Depot, I imagine. But 190,000 ceiling fans recalled because the blades detach and fly off.
Bruh.
These are ceiling fans.
Them blades, though.
So you think you got that thing going on high and it's just going around and all of a sudden, thump.
Right.
You know, you got something just, you know, just high projectiles just coming at you. But yeah, the ceiling fan sold at Home Depot were recalled. And it's a Hampton Bay 54-inch Mara indoor-outdoor fan. And it was sold in stores and online from April through October of this year for about $150. And the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission has recalled it because those blades are coming off. It's a, you know, just one of those things. Another 8,800 were sold in Canada, so about 182,000 are actually sold in the U.S. out of the amount that was recalled. But it's the distributor of the product is King of Fans, and it's sold exclusively through Home Depot. And it had received 47 reports of the product's fan blades detaching, with at least 2 consumers hit by the blade and 4 instances of property damage.
That's crazy.
So it's yeah.
Can you imagine having that on high and then that thing just a blade just goes flying towards your face, sticking into the wall kind of thing? Like that's scary, man. Just the thought of that is just crazy, man. Your little kitten, your little dog or something like that gets chopped up. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But anyway, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, it's made in China, and has and then distributed through this King of Fans out of Florida.
Of course.
So, but not all of the China-made Mara 54-inch fans are affected. It's just this one version of it in a couple different colors. So, you know, I guess the zip tie or the duct tape, whatever they were using to hold those blades on, wasn't doing its job. I told you to use super glue, not regular glue.
No kidding. My God.
So it sounds like an IKEA type of situation.
Yeah.
You gotta put the blades on.
Right? I feel like this is an IKEA problem. You know what I'm saying? This is an IKEA problem, not a Home Depot problem. Made in China, though.
Yep. It's part of the bigger plan. Decapitate all the Americans using this fan.
The fandemic.
Conspiracy.
Oh, no.
You're welcome. Hey. Oh, the fandemic. Anyway, we got to go into a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we got to talk about what just recently happened. Breonna Taylor's statue in Oakland has been destroyed. Not even vandalized, in my personal opinion. This statue has been destroyed, and we definitely got to talk about it. We'll be right back. This is The Pascal Show. Bye. Get them likes up.
Love, peace, and wellness for the holidays. Don't cancel them. Prepare, STL. Decorate. Make it as normal as you can, but slow the spread of COVID. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. Prepare STL, helping St. Louisans of color prepare and prevail.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean, rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have those little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
You're gonna perform
I'm sorry,
tonight.
I can't make this interview boring because this
No, it's
man
not
is
boring.
too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is gonna leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood, we inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter lines, fascia trim, garage door, utility penetrations, water, gas, electric, and cable, bathroom vents, attic roof ridge vents, attic electrical, wiring, junctions, boxes, and lighting, concrete decks, additions, wooden crawl spaces, basement plumbing, penetrations, ceiling, floor, and wall. Wildlife Command Center's mission is to deliver the finest quality wildlife removal and pest control service that is safe for the environment. For more information, call us now.
All right, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in and being a part of the show, being a part of the conversation. If this is your first time checking out this show, please go hit that like button down below. And don't forget to crush that subscribe button. I do this show Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I also do a Tuesday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So in the middle of the week, you get me twice as nice, right? Anyway, be sure to hit that like button down below, crush them likes, get them likes up, hit that subscribe button, and enjoy the chat on the side and be a part of the Pascal Show family conversation. Anyway, we got to jump into this next story. This is really this is an unfortunate situation. Oakland police are investigating into the smashed statue of Breonna Taylor. So police are investigating what appears to be an act of vandalism after a statue of Breonna Taylor erected to her honor in her memory was smashed in Oakland, California. The Oakland Police Department said late on Monday it was looking into the incident, although it had not identified any suspects or motives. The statue was found smashed on Saturday, about 2 weeks after it was installed. So it was only there for 2 weeks, y'all. And the damn thing got destroyed. Leo Carson, the artist who created the bust, said he considered the smashing of Taylor's statue an act of racist aggression aimed at suppressing the fight for black freedom. The ceramic bust, I want to say that out loud real quick. It's an important detail. The ceramic bust depicts a smiling Taylor and was installed downtown Oakland near City Hall. On its base is a plaque that reads, "Say her name, Breonna Taylor." I'm going to show you guys a quick video of the actual, of what it looks like right now.
I'm really, really sad. It was such an out of the blue thing when this appeared.
See that? This is what they did. That's what they did to Breonna Taylor's
a couple
bust.
of weeks ago, I think, and I live in this building, and I was very pleased, and I contacted my city council rep to make sure it was preserved, and I also contacted Oakland Side, the local East Bay, local Oakland News Weekly.
Crazy, right? One thing, see now, look at that, bang. They destroyed that thing. Y'all, look at that. They destroyed that thing. That is destroyed.
It's non-repairable.
That's not, I mean, nah. That's beyond, that's totaled. You know what I'm saying? If it was a car, this car's totaled. They're going to have to start from all over again. They're going to have to start from scratch. It's really tragic. Real talk. I mean, just looking at, I mean, you know, it's a small little statue right there in Oakland. One thing I wanted to point out though, real quick, let me get myself out of the shot here. But see how her colored hair, I know this is random thought, but she sprayed her dog with the same color just so they match. I'm sorry. I just wanted to point that out. Random piece of information, but you know, I guess you got to coordinate even with your dogs. But anyway, you know, it is a tragic series of events, in my personal opinion. I'm going to throw it around the room. There's some real quick before I throw it around the room. There has been a lot of people that have commentated on this event, on this thing that happened. I do agree that this is an act of racist aggression. I really do believe it's that. No matter which way you look at it, doesn't matter if you're blue or red, Democrat or Republican, far left or far right, this was wrong. Period. Think about it. You just put yourself in Breonna Taylor's family's shoes or the artist's shoes. And you create something, you put in all your time and effort into it. The city agrees to put your hard work or a representation of somebody you love up as a statue that would be, you know, honored. And then one day, 2 weeks later, you walk by it and it is absolutely destroyed. I mean, put that in your mind for 2 seconds. Forget everything else. Forget what you think she stood for or what Breonna Taylor's image and name is standing for and all that stuff. Take all that stuff out the way. This is your friend or your family member, someone you loved, and they're honoring that person. And then you walk over there one day and it's destroyed. You'd feel some type of way too. Regardless of the symbolism or anything of that sort, you'd feel some type of way. Guys, what are your thoughts on this?
First off, yeah, being ceramic is, that's just like testing, what people will do because it's breakable. There is a GoFundMe that's been put up that Leo Carson, he's I guess that's the sculptor, and he has started a GoFundMe that says the sculpture of Breonna Taylor installed at Latham Square in downtown Oakland 2 weeks ago has been vandalized and smashed. After spending months creating this artwork, it was incredible to see the community and neighbors taking photos and enjoying it. Now I am devastated and enraged to see it in pieces. This was an act of racist aggression, and we need to show them we will not stand for it. Several people have reached out asking how they can help with the repairs. The best way to prevent further damage would be rebuild her in bronze. As an unemployed server, this isn't something I can afford to do on my own. The bronze casting process will take months to complete, and the base will also have to be reconstructed to support the additional weight. Any funds over the cost of rebuilding will be donated to Breonna Taylor's family. Thank you so much. So he set a goal of raising $5,000 and has so far raised $14,021.
Word.
So it will be replaced, which is the good thing. I imagine there's, where's the video footage? If it's down in downtown, it's near this area. Where's the video footage so far of showing the people who did it?
Right.
Was it a group of young kids? Was it a thing where somebody pulled up, ran out of a car or something like that, and didn't and jumped back in? Was it a drunk guy walking down the street? Like, what was the basis of why this happened? Obviously, putting there's a big divide amongst this case and surrounding her. And, obviously there's a group of people that, don't want to see her, have a memorial put up. They don't want to see they don't think any news should be around it. They think that the police did everything correctly and that there was no injustice here. And so, there's going to be people that are always going to go out and try to vandalize it. If it's bronze, spray paint, it might be the worst you could do. You could knock it over maybe. But being ceramic, it was just kind of I don't know. That was just the gesture that he did for making it was a good intent. But what materials he used, I guess that's all that he had available. Saying that he is unemployed, it just was a poor choice of a medium, I guess.
Yep.
To use for this sculpture, because if someone's going to go out there and I think that this would have happened, not as soon as it did, but 2 weeks, man, that's rough.
Yeah. T, what are your thoughts?
It's a mixed bag of emotions, really. I don't get the outrage against her. I don't see why is she a villain. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Why is she a villain? I don't understand. What did she do to make her a villain? She was in her home, minding her business, having an evening with her boyfriend, and something happened tragically to her and her boyfriend, and she was killed.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing to do with politics. It's nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. It's just someone in their home watching a movie, to hear a disturbance. Somebody who was legally licensed to carry a gun, the boyfriend, to a community, speak up, defended himself in his home. So don't be biased about this. Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero, right? He wasn't even legally licensed to carry a gun, but she's a villain.
Yeah.
Come on, man, that bothers me. Like when you choose your biases publicly, and put it out there as being truth, then you're the problem with America. You are, because she was home, watching a movie, They heard a disturbance. She got out of her bed. She was killed, unfortunately.
Word.
He shot his gun in self-defense. We don't know if he heard a knock or not. The TV was loud. They were watching the movie. The neighbors said something. The cop said something. We all have different stories. But at the end of the day, that she's dead. She is dead. And you want to dirty her name up? You know, she was a former, nurse or I guess
EMT.
EMT.
Yeah.
No, she was a hospital technician. Okay, she's a first responder, or she worked in a service where she gave her life and dedication to people to help them, and she was killed. But that's besides the fact that what she did as a living. The fact is this, that she had the right to defend herself and her boyfriend from whatever tyranny they thought were outside that door. Period.
Right.
Period. The cops had no body cam footage. They treated the crime scene like she was a terrorist. It was a botched raid. Yeah, everything was misconstrued. The guy they're looking for wasn't there, and he was also already in custody already. So like a lot of things were wrong that night. But I don't get why they're blaming a victim for being shot. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's crazy. She didn't go outside with a gun, threatening cops. She was shot without even knowing what was happening at that moment.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I don't appreciate people trying to assassinate her character. So she's already dead. You're trying to kill her again. Like that's despicable. That's despicable.
It's funny to me because this is not a situation where it was like a Jacob Blake situation. This was not her being aggressive with anybody. She did not have a gun in her hand. She was hit with bullets. She's not the one who had a gun in her hand shooting at the police. Regardless if they were doing any type of deep dive of investigation into her quote unquote criminal activity, does not take out the fact that this was a woman that was unarmed, that was riddled by bullets, killed by getting riddled by bullets. And it's a terrible act. It was a terrible moment. And yes, we should be saying her name because it was a terrible thing. Regardless if there was a no-knock warrant or if they had the right to do what they did, all that stuff, cut all that stuff out. That is still a human being that was being under investigation for something that she had not been found guilty for at all. She had not been brought in to court, tried by a jury of her peers, and sentenced. None of that stuff happened. None of that happened. This was a woman that woke up to loud banging on her door. She walked out into the hallway and got riddled by bullets. She died in a terrible, horrific way. And there are people out here that want to honor her by making a statue. Yes, I agree with what Jack said. Ceramic, not the greatest choice of material if you're going to put that out into the public, because it doesn't matter. It could be a bust of Vincent van Gogh, and somebody going to be stupid. And it was made out of ceramic. Somebody going to be stupid enough to try to cut the other ear off. Real talk. So that's where it was wrong. The material that they used was wrong. But whoever should be, we're in an age, we're in an age where we're not respecting art. We're not respecting anything. Public statues and whatnot. We're not doing any of those things. We're tearing things down. We're vandalizing things. Even the statues that I feel shouldn't even be vandalized are being vandalized as well. You know what I'm saying? Like a statue of George Washington, a statue of Abraham Lincoln. You know what I'm saying? Things are getting destroyed and vandalized left and right. Period. There are some jackasses out here that are doing stupid stuff. So when something like this happens, still makes you angry. Still makes you angry, and it makes it seem like no one's going to respect nothing anymore. I swear to God, it could be a bust of Mickey Mouse, and they're going to chop those ears off. If it is material that is easily removable, easily destroyed, destructible. What is that even a word? Destructible? I don't know.
Destroyable?
Destroyable?
Destructible.
Destructible.
Indestructible and destructible.
Okay, destructible. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? So something like this, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter where you stand. If you were the person that loved that person that they made a statue out of in their honor, and you walked up and saw that their statue had been destroyed, how would that make you feel? Cut out all the BS, y'all, and just think about it for a second. Breonna Taylor was a human being. She was loved by people. She had family and friends that loved her. If this was a John Smith or Michael, I can't even use any of the, you know what I'm saying? Could be a JoJo Brown, whatever. And that person you loved and cared for, and that bust was destroyed, how would that make you feel? Cut out all the political crap, y'all. Everybody wants to politicize stuff. It's something called good and bad, right or wrong. Still, no matter what, that is not right. That was a woman that got riddled by bullets. She didn't do anything. This would be a different story, like I said, if this was Jacob Blake's situation where she was retaliating. She had a knife in her hand. She was doing all kinds of crazy stuff. She was running into her car. She was running to the back of the house trying to get her own piece so she could start going blap, 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 start blasting. She didn't do any of that stuff. She didn't do any of that stuff, y'all. And I still don't understand why people can't wrap their minds around that situation and how this has become such a polarizing discussion, and it shouldn't be. What they did to this statue is wrong. And I've seen a lot of other commentators say some stuff where they're like, I don't give a damn. I don't care. What? I feel like, I guess I keep on bringing it down to a human condition, down to the heart. And if that was my daughter, or that was the person that was the love of my life, and they wanted to put up a statue in her honor, and then 2 weeks later it gets destroyed, my heart would be broken, period. And I feel like every single person out here that's watching this and listening to this right now would feel the exact same damn way. That's it.
Facts. I mean, it's a shame that people are labeling her a drug queen or whatever. I mean, it's ridiculous that people are going out to make a name for themselves by attacking victims of police brutality and screw-ups, and that's something that's happening over and over again. People are trying to make a claim to fame by, dirtying up everyone's name more than it already is on any topic that they feel is relevant to them. And that's biased news reporting. That's not even authentic. Is every criminal worthy of dying? No. Are some criminals, trying to reform themselves? I don't know. Who knows? But it shouldn't matter what they did in 5th grade. It shouldn't matter what they did growing up. I mean, if someone commits a crime, again, there's a system of proving the crime, going through the system of being, tried and being sentenced to jail. It shouldn't be instant death on the streets, because someone did something wrong. I mean, it's the magnification of, criminal deserves death. I mean, that's not the way the system is set up. Yes, most of us who are law-abiding citizens, we want less crime. We don't hold our criminals up to a standard. Of course not. That's crazy. But every criminal who gets killed by the police shouldn't be, dragged through the mud every second. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever they did at that moment, arrest them for it, put them to jail. It shouldn't be trying to dirty up everything that they did. I mean, think about this. If jail is supposed to be meant for rehabilitation, right, and helping somebody become better to re-enter society, then why are you trying to destroy them? You know what I'm saying? Just help the person who needs help. That's my point. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they need help, help them. You know, Breonna Taylor wasn't a criminal at all, but she's being treated like someone who's like left in dirt. There's no evidence of her at all being involved in any kind of activities at all. Her ex-boyfriend listed her apartment, listed her name on police documents. That was it. You know what I'm saying? So like the raid was there, and it was a soft target because she wasn't even considered a threat. She was considered somebody who knows information or somewhere he may be at. That's it. So like look at it as that, not as she's a drug queenpin who daylighted as a nurse or whatever, but she really was, Noriega or Pablo Escobar behind the scenes. Come on, man, that's crazy to me. So hopefully people can see things for what they are and stop being over emotional about picking a side. When it comes to police shootings and things of that nature. Police have killed people of all kinds of colors over the years. You have Daniel Shaver. You have Daniel Shaver in the hotel room in Arizona. You have a lot of people who are killed by police, black and white, Hispanic. It's not about race all the time. It's about how you conduct your job in a way that's ethical and authentic, and that it doesn't. There's no bias involved in it. But people are quick to choose sides and choose race, and it's the same thing happening over and over again. So it's not going to ever stop until people rationally think about what's going on in society, and really like clear out all the garbage of what they think is truth, and try to be empathetic with people who are like them, just Americans, trying to live every day, It's just we're all tired of this. I think we're all tired of this whole year of, picking sides and blaming others. But look in the mirror at your own self.
Facts. I agree, man. It's a tragic story. It's an unfortunate story. I hate that the statue got destroyed, but at the same time, if you're going to put something out in public that is going to be a polarizing figure or a polarizing item, make sure it's made out of metal. So that even if they took a baseball bat to it, a 9-iron to it, it's maybe gets a few dings, or if it gets spray painted on, it can easily get just scrubbed out. You see what I'm saying? Still, no matter what, the gesture is beautiful and amazing, but they really need to they need to think ahead next time. And it could have just been budget. Real talk. It could have been just been budget. He didn't have anything to really make what he wanted to make, so he made it out of ceramic, etc. But of course, you want something that's going to be able to stand there and withhold weather, people, etc. So I'm glad that they've raised over $14,000. So hopefully they make it something bigger and better than what it was. You know what I'm saying? So there's hope for that. But we got to jump into this next story. This is a complete left turn. So there is a video going viral right now of this is at an anti-masker rally. And this is completely left turn. See how we try to keep it balanced here. You know what I'm saying? We go from the left, we go right over to the right, and we go back into the middle, and we hop all over the place. But this is a very interesting one. This was from a tweet from a website called, from a Twitter account called Code of Vets. It says, this assault on a disabled veteran for not wearing a mask is disturbing on every level. We secured this nation and our freedoms now, we are under attack. We secured this nation and our freedoms. Now we are under attack. Yeah. So we got to check this video out. It gets a little loud and a little rowdy. So let's check this out, y'all.
Get off of him!
Man, this is crazy.
Get off of him! The fuck are you doing?
You need that many men on his ass? Damn.
Hey, you're choking him! Get the fuck off of him, motherfucker!
Move out the way. Get out the way.
Don't tell me to fucking move!
I'm a disabled veteran.
Leave him alone! Leave him alone! You're hurting him! He's fucking disabled! You're fucking hurting him! Goddamn prick! Georgia, did you tell me we were gonna arrest you?
I'm a disabled veteran. I'm a disabled veteran of the United States Army.
Did you tell him?
Oh, that's creepy. Why is this like a scene from a movie? With the music in the background?
Why you stopping on that hard? Motherfucker!
Wow.
You're fucking hurting us, bitches!
That's messed up. That's... Wow. What happened to the old girl here? Whoa. Okay. Okay. That was really sad. I don't know about you guys. That got me a little choked up. When the music came on. When the music came on, that jacked me up. Because
the music or just playing in the mall.
I don't know what they were doing, but they were playing something. I don't know. It seemed like, to me, it was almost like I feel like that would have been a scene in the sequel to Born on the 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he's sitting there screaming liberty, and you got, you know, say like the Star Spangled Banner's being played in the background by kids that are singing in the back. Like, that was just really jacked up. That was really, really jacked up. And then he's screaming liberty, you know, Attica. You know what I mean? It just seemed, man, that's jacked up. And then when the camera panned over, when the phone panned over and showed that woman on the floor, like she had been tossed to the ground, was really, really sad too. You know, I don't know what the altercation, how it popped off, because you got to remember, it's funny when the video starts and stops, right? You don't know what happens before they hit the red button, you know, that record button, and what happens after they hit that record button. But they picked the most, like they shot the most intense moment ever. Then on top of that, he's a disabled veteran. And he's just with these people protesting about this. You know, he's an anti-masker. They were part of an anti-masking protest. We don't know what happened, like I said, before they hit record. But the way that they treated this gentleman was not right. They didn't need to put as many people on him, like, in my personal opinion. They didn't need to put as many people on him like that. Why did they need four or five people to arrest his ass? But like I said, I don't know what happened right before they hit the record or how this was edited. You never know. Fellas, what are your thoughts on this one?
How, did they say how he's disabled? Was he in like a wheelchair or something?
No.
Like, 'cause she did say, like, you heard the lady that was recording. They said that, he has an exemption. He's a disabled veteran. He has exemption. So he's at an anti-mask rally, but then he's claiming exemptions. is why he's not wearing it. Not necessarily because he's against the mask, but he's saying that he doesn't wear it because of an exemption. Like that's one is, that's like one thing that stuck out to me. But two, if he's disabled too, like I don't know how. Like I'm sure that there's multiple ways a veteran can be disabled. Like you can have mental stuff that happen. You can have physical. There's a variety of different things that can occur. Strength was not his issue. I know that for sure because he was holding off 4 or 5 guys.
I mean, he was holding off some dudes.
Out. Like that was like like to be able to hold off that many guys. Like his strength is definitely still there. But that being thrown to the ground, any veteran, you don't want to see that to happen to anybody. And then a veteran, I mean, that adds on top of it.
Yeah.
But again, and it is always very curious to me about when the play button starts, or record button starts, because, was he like in their face? Was he, is the policy at that place where you can't be in there without a mask, and then the whole group shows up and does it anyway?
Right.
Like, this was a rally, right? Or was it a riot? Or was it what type of situation was going on? Were they disturbing the peace? Were they going in and causing a scene? Were they, where's the mall footage? Because it looks like it was in a mall. So
yeah, right in front of
a small security cameras.
Right in front of a pretzel maker shop. You know what I mean? In the mall. Clearly, it was in the mall. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just lots of questions. I'd like some clarification because this only gives like the middle of the situation. And so it's kind of hard to give an overall like input. Yeah, veterans shouldn't be treated like that. No one really should. But I don't understand what happened prior.
Yeah,
to lead to this.
There's a lot of questions that are popping up. It's kind of like, what the hell? Why the hell? What the hell? What's going on? Why did this happen? What happened before? That's what I want to know. What happened before they hit record? You never know. That veteran could have possibly swung at one of the security guards, because it wasn't only just cops, it was security guards as well. So it was mall security and cops trying to detain this gentleman, this veteran. And then all of a sudden,
Yeah. You're just a mall cop. I don't have to listen to you. You can't
Right.
make me wear my mask.
Paul
Paul
Blart.
Paul
police
Blart.
get called over.
Yeah. It's a weird situation. Here it is, though. I'm not ever going to tell somebody that they can't go and do what their rights are. If they have the right to go and be somewhere and say, hey guys, we're going to protest here, we're going to demonstrate here, then that's on them. But at the same time, though, isn't the mall private property? So if they're on private property and the mall is trying to get them the hell off of private property, then the mall has every right to escort them or ask them to leave if they are going to demonstrate in some place like on private property. So that might have been the wrong choice of location to protest. Obviously, it's a place to get your attention. It's one place to definitely get people's attention for sure. But at the same time, it is private property. So legally speaking, if somebody's going to go and go, hey, I want to demonstrate because it's my legal right to demonstrate and express my feelings. We have the right to assemble, freedom of speech, but you're doing it on private property. That's where you messed up. That's where you got it all wrong, bruh. So they have their rights too. And if they want to come over to you and say, hey, my brothers and sisters, yep, I'm sorry. I know you have your rights, but you can't do this here. And then this dude gets angry or whatever happened before they hit record, then security and cops have every right to detain the guy, legally speaking. Right? Yeah. Now, if this was like in a park or on the side of a road somewhere, public property, then he could do whatever the hell he wants. But if you're assembling on private property, the private property says you cannot be here to demonstrate, we'd like you to leave, then that's a completely different story. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not against anybody going and doing their thing. There's plenty of pro-Trump rallies going on. There's plenty of demonstrations, BLM, etc., all that stuff going on public property. They have their rights. I commend y'all. If you want to get your voice heard, that's how you want to do it, go ahead. But if you're on private property, that's another Charles Dickens story, for sure. What do you think, T?
As soon as the cops said, you have to go now, that's when they lost their right to be there. So it's up to the cops' discretion on how long somebody can organize or protest on a property that's private. So once the cops told him, or whoever they told in unison, they had to leave, and he didn't do that, they probably tried to escort him out, and then looks like he refused, and from there all hell broke loose. So and everyone's recording on cameras these days, so we're missing the first part of it, so it's really hard to see the beginning of it. But so all we can do is kind of analyze from the point the camera turns on, and we see a disabled vet, almost being attacked or mobbed by the police and mall security over something that appears to be not wearing a mask.
Mm-hmm.
But if he was told to leave initially, and if he did any kind of gesture that seemed to the cops or the security to be aggressive, they were going to respond with the equal aggression back. That's the part we don't know.
Yeah. It is really unfortunate, everything that went down, but I also do believe that the security cops, like the mall security, I'm sorry, I do feel like the mall security and the cops could have treated it a little bit differently too. I don't think that they needed as many dudes on top of him just to detain him. It just ended up being, it's just unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Especially like this is somebody who has risked his life, dedicated his life to protect this country and all that. And I do feel some type of way about our veterans, especially if they're, just no matter what, our veterans. I have a lot of respect and love for the men and women who have sacrificed themselves for this country. And I feel like there's not sitting here saying that, as soon as he says I'm a disabled veteran, that they should have just took all their hands off of him like, oh, I'm so sorry. No, but at the same time, I feel like there was another way to approach the situation where it would have been a little bit more kosher, for lack of a better word. But like I said, we don't know what happened before they hit record. We don't know. You know what I mean? So it's like I said, it's unfortunate, but we're just gonna have to see what happens with that story, because I'm sure there'll be more information that pops up as time goes on and everything. But yes, we got to go into this next story, and this is very interesting. This is an open conversation part, because there is a college football player by the name of Sarah Fuller. I talked about her one time, and it got a lot of hate. It got a lot of flack because of her being the kicker on Vanderbilt's football team. And right now, Sarah Fuller, they're interested. The NCAA is interested in putting her name and her jersey into the NCAA Hall of Fame. T's got the story. What's a gum, bruh?
Yeah, so Vanderbilt kicker Sarah Fuller has made history over the last month when she became the first woman to play and score in a Power 5 conference football game. Now her jersey has a home in the College Football Hall of Fame. Congrats, Sarah, and thank you for entrusting us with the safekeeping of this rich piece of history, says a tweet from the College Hall of Fame. Fuller, who kicked 2 extra points in Vanderbilt's 42-17 loss to Tennessee, on December 12th. She originally made her college football debut 2 weeks earlier against Missouri. Recently, she has been applauded as being a winner per her coach. He says, quote, "She's obviously a winner. She walked up there and kicked it right through." So I just think it says a whole lot about her and her really her kind of fortitude to be brave enough to go and do this. She wasn't the first woman kicker. She was actually the I guess third or fourth. The first woman to kick in college football was Katie Nida, which was the Florida Bowl subdivision level in 2003. So she isn't the first at all. But I guess her being the one to kick a point on this level, this is a higher level of football. On this level, she was entrusted and given her jersey to the Hall of Fame and being honored to being the first woman on this level of college football to make it on the field and score.
You know, so it's not her name, it's her jersey, correct?
You're right. It's her jersey
Okay.
is in the college football Hall of Fame, but her name's on the jersey, so she's pretty much historically cemented in that legacy as well. Yes.
Okay.
No, she's not in the Hall of Fame for her performance, but she's in the Hall of Fame for her, I guess being a pioneer to score points on this level of college football.
Interesting. Because I heard she ain't that good.
No,
I also heard that she's not that good.
Her first kickoff wasn't that good at all. And kicking extra points are pretty easy. They're chip shots, pretty much no more than 30 yards from the end zone. So what she did wasn't miraculous as far as talent. But I think her just not giving up the fight to be in college football and to exceed or ascend above, the other athletes who are, of course, men who also kick. She beat them out of a job, I'm assuming, and she made the team. So that in itself was, historical.
Right. It just seems, to me, it just seems a little weird because she's not the first.
No.
Right?
So the first one was a subdivision of the level that she's on now. So college football has like Division 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
So Division 1 is the top level, who are like NFL worthy players. So this is a Division 2 school, I believe, or a low-end Division 1 school. So she's at the highest level compared to the other females who were kicked before her.
Gotcha. But she's still not the first.
No, it's not the first overall. No, not in college football history. No.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to point out. She's still not the first. And apparently she ain't that good. So why would they use her name and not, I mean, there was one before her, at least. Why wouldn't they induct her name into the NCAA Hall of Fame and not her? Because technically, Sarah Fuller is not the pioneer. It's the other girl. What was her name? The first one?
Yeah. I'm gonna go back.
What was her name again?
It was Katie Nida. Hanida, which is H silent probably. Okay. And then the second one was Amy Gose in 2015. And then the third one was Tanya Butler. And
there you
so
go.
She's the fourth one of the list I see here.
Facts.
But she's on the highest level, so she made it past those girls in terms of making a better football team.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, but to me, it's kind of like, all right, you got somebody who is, let's just say, okay, she might be the highest, but she's not the first. So to me, it's like, and also, it's not like she went in there, since she is the fourth. It's not like she's come in here and is like killing it with all kinds of crazy numbers and stuff. You see what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
To have her be a part of the Hall of Fame if she isn't even that good, or if she's not crushing numbers. You know what I'm saying? Crushing stats and superseding what we expected and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately,
it's interesting. It is. You know, why her?
How
I get
is
that
that
it's
even working?
level compared to other girls. But again, she should at least be putting more performance effort. That's competitive and worthy of talking about.
Right.
But it hasn't been like that. It's not like she's kicking longer field goals than the guys, or just as long.
Right.
You know, or she's being accurate with her kicks. It's just that she's there on this level, and she's awarded for it. Beyond just saying congratulations, here's a story about it. Your jersey's going to the Hall of Fame. It's pretty epic. So I can't say it's an overdue, but it seems that way, at least right now.
Word. You know, such an interesting situation, in my personal opinion. I really do think that they're trying too damn hard. I'll say this though too. If this was, what if she was black? Say this is back in the day, right? And they wanted to induct Fuller, and they're the first person to integrate, integrate races into the sport, right? Like Jackie Robinson came in, right? And he was an incredible player. It wasn't like he came in and he had a few bunts and therefore he was part of the Hall of Fame. You see what I'm saying? Just because he was groundbreaking. No, he was good at what he did.
Right.
He was amazing. He was great at what he did. So then I look at that and I look at Sarah Fuller, and no offense to her at all, sweetheart. I mean, I mad props to you for doing what you're doing and all that stuff, but you are not the first one. So how do you automatically get put into the NCAA? How do you get into the NCAA Hall of Fame just for having a vagina? I'm sorry, but that doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't. This is the only time that I'm sitting there going, wait a second, this don't make no sense. It don't make sense. And also, James, we are genetically built the same way white people are. I'm just letting you know. There is no weird fib of, oh, black people have extra calf muscles and more muscles in our legs and stuff. No, we are genetically structured the same way.
Scientific.
Have mercy.
Scientific statement made in racial context.
Right.
Many years ago. And the fact that, racists eat up anything that fits the narrative. Good luck with that. That's ridiculous.
Right. So when it comes to Sarah Fuller, I'm just saying, real talk. When it comes to Sarah Fuller, it doesn't make sense to me for her to be inducted into the NCAA Hall of Fame, even her jersey. They should, if it's just for the fact that she's a pioneer, then go to the Pioneer. Get the jersey from the Pioneer and give her some love, because she's what was her name?
Sarah Fuller?
No, not Sarah Fuller. The first one.
The one before that? Her name, give me 1 minute.
Hartig or Hartig or
her name was Katie Hanita.
Hanita. Thank you. Yeah. Hanita Applebum. Yeah. Hanita was the first. She's the first. So give her jersey some attention, because she's the first. Sarah Fuller, I don't understand why she's all of a sudden getting all this. I'm sorry. She hasn't done anything yet. Real talk, she hasn't done anything yet. She hasn't proven anything. And I understand this is her only season. And maybe it should only be her only season, because apparently she's not that good. But why? Why? This doesn't make any sense to me. Like I said, if she had the accolades and the stats and all that, and showed that she was an incredible athlete in regards to the game, in the sport of football, this would be a completely different conversation. But she isn't that good. Yes, she is it's groundbreaking, but there are other women before her that have broke ground for her. Does that make sense? So, yeah. I don't know. I say pick somebody else. Pick another person. You know what I'm saying? Pick the first person. Pick the actual pioneer. You know what I'm saying? Or just give it to Kathy Ireland. You know what I'm saying? Unnecessary roughness. You know what I'm saying? And she looked good as she kicked the hell out of that ball. You feel me? Come on with it. You know what I'm saying? Stupid joke. But anyway, shoot. So, anyway, that is the show this evening. Today, guys, there will be an evening show tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, so be on the lookout for that. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on, I'm sure. More developing stories about the bombing, and shoot, everybody's watching like crazy about this stimulus check, if we gets it or not. My fingers are crossed that everyone gets their $2,000.
Don't spend before you get it.
Actually, I'm going to be real. We deserve a whole lot more than $2,000. I'm going to be straight funky. A lot of us can really benefit from getting at least 4 or 5. But at the same time, we're going to take what we can get. You know what I'm saying? And because it better not be no $600. You're basically giving everybody 50 cents. That's about it, y'all. That's just my personal opinion. But anyway, fingers crossed on that. Jack, thank you so much for being on. T, thank you so much for being on today. Appreciate it. But yes, I'll be on tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, so be on the lookout for that. Got a lot to talk about, so be on. I'm probably going to have a few pop-up videos over the course of the next few hours, so be on the lookout for that, because there's a lot to talk about. There's so much I missed over this Christmas break that I have not gotten a chance to react to and talk about and look at, so be on the lookout for those videos, because those are going to be very interesting. There's 2 of them that I haven't gotten a chance to look at, and we are going to be talking about those here very, very soon, so be on the lookout. All right? But anyway, it's time to get going. I'll see you guys tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Have a blessed day, guys. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Love, peace, and wellness for the holidays. Don't cancel them. Prepare, STL. Decorate. Make it as normal as you can, but slow the spread of COVID. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. Prepare, STL, helping St. Louisans of color prepare and prevail.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. I mean, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.